What if the pyramids weren't a tomb at all, but a message from a forgotten civilization? Graham Hancock says he's uncovered the evidence. For centuries, we've been told the pyramids were royal tombs. Egyptologists link them to Pharaoh Khufu and the 4th dynasty, around 2500 BC. They explain the pyramids as funerary monuments built with human labor and simple tools. But if they were just tombs, why does the Great Pyramid contain no mummy, no treasures, and almost no writing? Why is its design so precise that modern engineers still marvel at it? The official story leaves questions unanswered. The pyramid's base is aligned almost perfectly with the true north. Its stones, some weighing up to 80 tons, were hauled from quarries hundreds of miles away. The chambers inside are carved with incredible accuracy. No simple copper tools should have achieved this. Something doesn't add up. Pause and ask yourself this: if the accepted story is true, why does the evidence feel incomplete? Why do the pyramids feel less like tombs and more like machines designed with purpose? These questions open the door to Graham Hancock's theory. That's where Hancock steps in. For decades, he has investigated mysteries hidden in ancient monuments. His claim is bold. He argues the pyramids are far older than 2500 BC. To him, they are the legacy of a forgotten civilization that passed down knowledge after a global disaster. He suggests the pyramids may have been built not as tombs, but as a message, a warning, or a record left for future generations. Think about this: a structure built not for death, but survival. A structure carrying forward memory after a catastrophe. Hancock's theory makes the pyramids less like mausoleums and more like a time capsule. Hancock points to clues in the design. The Great Pyramid's shafts align with stars, including Orion's belt. Its proportions reflect precise mathematics, including pi and the golden ratio. How could people with no advanced instruments achieve such accuracy? The structure seems less like a tomb and more like a cosmic marker, a tool to connect heaven and earth. Then there's the evidence from the Sphinx. Geologists have argued its erosion is caused by water, not wind. That suggests it was carved thousands of years before Egypt's deserts formed, during an age of heavy rains. If true, it predates the pharaohs by millennia. This pushes history back to a time when official timelines claim civilization did not exist. Hancock argues this is proof of an advanced culture lost in the mists of time. Here's the twist: Hancock builds his case with global connections. He links Egypt's pyramids to ancient sites like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, dated to 11,000 years ago. He notes myths of floods and lost civilizations appear in cultures worldwide, from Mesopotamia to the Americas. He argues these myths are not fantasy, but memory, passed down from survivors of an Ice Age catastrophe. The story of Atlantis, the Epic of Gilgamesh, and even biblical flood accounts may all echo the same event. If so many cultures speak of floods and survivors, could they all be remembering the same disaster? Could those survivors have left their mark in Egypt? According to Hancock, the builders of the pyramids were those survivors, guardians of advanced knowledge. They taught architecture, astronomy, and geometry to later cultures. The pyramids were their monument, proof of their science, and a warning of cycles of destruction. If the Sphinx shows water erosion from 10,000 BC, then the builders lived long before Egypt's dynasties. Mainstream scholars dismiss this as speculation. They argue the lack of hard evidence proves otherwise, but Hancock points to growing signs beneath the surface. Ground-penetrating radar has revealed hidden chambers beneath the Giza Plateau. Satellite surveys hint at undiscovered structures buried under the sands. Ancient star maps match pyramid alignments with astonishing accuracy. The absence of burial artifacts inside the Great Pyramid challenges the tomb theory further. If it wasn't built for a pharaoh's corpse, then what was it for? Isn't the absence of proof inside the pyramid itself the biggest clue? A tomb without a body, a monument without a name, a message without words, carved only in stone. The precision of its construction offers more puzzles. The pyramid's height multiplied by 1,000 equals almost exactly the distance from Earth to the Sun. Its base perimeter reflects the length of a solar year in days. Did ancient builders know this, or is it coincidence? Hancock argues it was intentional, evidence that advanced astronomical knowledge was encoded in stone. Think of the implication. A civilization capable of encoding planetary distances and celestial cycles long before telescopes. Either coincidence stacked too perfectly, or someone knew more than we assumed. Hancock believes the answer lies in the pyramids' role as a message. They may encode astronomical data about Earth's cycles. They may warn us of periodic catastrophes, like the floods that ended the Ice Age. The precision of their construction suggests they wanted this message to endure for thousands of years. A civilization facing destruction could have chosen the most permanent material, stone, to safeguard its warning. What if the pyramids aren't telling us about the dead, but warning the living? The climax of his theory comes with the idea of lost memory. Humanity, Hancock argues, has forgotten who we are. We've lost the record of an advanced chapter in our past. The pyramids, towering and eternal, might be that record, stone pages of a forgotten history. Every alignment, every measurement may be a piece of a larger code. To bring this alive, imagine standing inside the king's chamber. The air is still, heavy, and silent. You run your hand across the polished granite blocks so large modern cranes would struggle to move them. No hieroglyphs decorate the walls. No treasures lie scattered. Only raw stone, precise cuts, and a sense that the chamber itself is the message. You feel not like you're in a tomb, but in a machine, as though the chamber was designed to channel energy, sound, or perhaps even knowledge. Step outside, and the desert night stretches above. The pyramid's edges cut sharply against the sky. The stars align in eerie perfection with shafts deep inside the stone. Orion's belt mirrors the layout of the three great pyramids. Coincidence or intent? The sight forces you to consider that the builders wanted the heavens and earth linked forever in stone. Now, connect that with Göbekli Tepe's circular temples. The carvings of animals, celestial symbols, and alignments with star clusters suggest that ancient people cared deeply about the sky. Hancock argues that they were tracking cosmic cycles and perhaps warning of returning disasters. Could Egypt's pyramids be the same message, written in a different form? He adds myths to the puzzle. The Maya spoke of past worlds destroyed by floods. Mesopotamian tablets told of gods who saved survivors by guiding them across waters. The Bible told of Noah and his ark. Separate cultures, distant lands, yet one repeating memory. A great flood and a restart of civilization. Hancock asks, how many times must the same story appear before we admit it could be true? Why does this matter today? Because if Hancock is right, human civilization is older and more advanced than we've been told. Our ancestors weren't primitive. They were astronomers, engineers, and thinkers with skills we still struggle to match. The pyramids might not only be monuments of the past, but warnings for the future. They may urge us to prepare for cycles of change, to remember the lessons of those who came before. What if the builders weren't trying to impress their gods, but trying to save us? Picture the scene. Desert sands glowing under the setting sun, golden light wrapping the Great Pyramid in shadow and fire. A structure so exact it defies time, so silent it feels alive. Was it really built for a pharaoh's tomb, or is it a coded message from people who lived before history began? Hancock leaves us with that haunting question. The mystery is not only who built the pyramids, but why. What secret did they want us to never forget? Was it a record of lost science, or a warning about Earth's cycles? Were these stones placed not to honor kings, but to guide survivors thousands of years into the future? Imagine the builders carving their message into granite, certain we would one day stand here, staring up and wonder, did they know something we do not? And here's the ultimate hook. If the pyramids are a message, are we listening? Or will history repeat itself while the answer sits in plain sight? Think of the weight of that warning. A civilization may have gone to unthinkable lengths to leave us knowledge. They hauled stone blocks heavier than locomotives, aligned them with the heavens, and cut them to a precision that rivals lasers. They placed their message not on fragile scrolls or fading paint, but in eternal granite. And yet, we walk past it daily, treating it as a tourist attraction. What if that silence is the true voice of the ancients, telling us to wake up before another cycle sweeps everything away? If we ignore it, we may be writing the same fate all over again. Listening to the pyramids may not be about history, it may be about survival. If this is only the beginning of what the pyramids hide, imagine what else lies buried beneath the sands. Subscribe, because the next mystery might be even stranger.